sound will pick me up there.
Well, you can talk into your...
Well, if I go there to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Hello? Sometimes we get buffalo roadblocks and sometimes we get elephant roadblocks, and now we got a caterpillar roadblock. Get in line! Come on, get in line. What a mission. Processionary caterpillars this time of the year, and this is a particularly long procession. Each caterpillar lays down a strand of silk, so when you get a lot of them, the number of strands are so many that you can actually pick them all up. But I dropped a couple. And I really wouldn't like to drive over them, so I just moved them out the way. I mean, we're barely out of camp, and they'll recover, they'll sort themselves out. They're heading to a new host plant, and, well, hopefully they'll be fine. As long as they've got their little silk trail, they'll be okay. Otherwise, it's going to take about an hour for them to cross the road. And while I have the patience of a cat, I don't know if our viewers do. I don't know if our viewers could sit here and watch caterpillars cross the road for an hour. It might be pushing things a little bit. Hello everybody, welcome to Wild Earth. That's how wild it is. We have to move caterpillars out of the road. Welcome to Thornybush, private nature reserve. And welcome to our little vehicle called the Jigger. Sorry children, I had to move you. I know it's like unconventional. And they're all going to go home tonight with stories of alien abduction and stuff. But such is it. C'est la vie. Bonjour, bonsoir. Buongiorno, guten Tag. Shalom. Avshin, Dumela, Albona, Goeiemiddag, good afternoon. Any other languages? Quite a few. What was it? Mark here in the front seat, the hot seat. Brian is on camera. Becky is in FC, and the other guys are all doing some serious editing work. and I'm glad that my job is this part of this deal. Zebra and giraffe tracks. No real plan for the afternoon, other than going up to see maybe our elephants have turned around and are coming back. I'm really sort of fixated on this herd of elephants because I'd like to learn each and every one of them before I leave. But also, apart from that, the dynamics seem to change. I mean, today there were 2 bulls with the herd that weren't there before, and one of the family groups within the herd is not there. Flo with her daughter. Or was it a son? No, it's a daughter. The other one was a son. Those 2. So it was only a part of the herd. There were a couple of females that I didn't see today. But then we didn't spend too much time with them. But at least we found them. They moved quite far north. They actually, from where we are now, they had come out of the bush behind us to the southeast of us. We're facing almost north. From the southeast, they had crossed the river to the east of us, to the northeast of where we are right now, and they had headed northwest. And then at one point they started going west, and then when we were with them, they turned north, and then they turned northeast. So maybe they're turning around and coming back again. Maybe. We're going to go and have a look, see if that is the case. Other than that, going to have to wing it this afternoon. There's no real plans to go anywhere in particular. Get to a junction, and if there's a bird flying in a particular direction, we'll take the junction whichever way the bird is flying, or if they're tracked. And we'll see what else we can find. There's a what? The other radio. Down with a kingfisher flying away. Virtual cuckoo. Sadly it's gone. It sort of came out of the reeds and back into the reeds. Very bright this afternoon. Yeah. Polarize it a little bit. First stop is going to be Albedo Fan, because I want to take one of the roads called Modlila Herd Road. Modlila, I don't even know what it means. Modlila Herd Road, up to the north to Nialeti. Save it for the camera, please. Good night. fix.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
Of course, the moment we go live, the wateries and the wildies there. But most of the... Hang on. I wanted to talk to Nicola. I'm just listening to the radio. Juan to the rescue. Turn that volume down. There's enough people there. But of course, the moment we came, we were live again. We lost you. You lost us because the laptop died again. And the warthog were just grazing happily, and the wildebeest was in the background. And then as soon as we went live, the warties disappeared. It's like they know. It's almost like they can hear on the radio, which they can't because it's in my ear. That we're live again. And the warties are gone. Hello, Mr. Wildebeest. Interesting, this wildebeest bull has sort of taken up residence here at this pan because it's a little bit open, it's good short grasses for him. And I assume he's hoping with utmost optimism that some females are going to wander through his territory, because that's of course how wildebeest works. Chauvinistic, but basically the female wildebeest know that if there's a wildebeest bull that can real estate in terms of grazing and access to water and dust and mud and whatever they need, then he's really worth sticking around for. And so they'll move into his territory. It's not like other animals that males will take over a territory and just expect the females to toe the line, as does happen with others. This is a case of a bull finding his territory and just waiting for the ladies to come along. It's kind of like one of us going out and waiting for the hotties to come along. Nice to see the brown-hooded kingfisher up ahead, he says, changing the subject. There's that waterbuck bull that's always here, and we never get him on camera. Maybe we can today. Sorry, brown-hooded kingfisher, coming from... I don't think man can get it out. Just try. For some strange reason, the waterbuck here at Thornybush is very, very shy. And it's possibly because there are few of them, and I don't see the vehicle. Could be that the lion loves it. I'm going to get under there. That's good. He just wanders into the bush, and there you just see his rump disappearing in the shadows. That is. He did. He is. He's deep in that shade, and all you can see is a little bit of his white ring on his rump. Okay, we will make it a quest to try and find this waterbuck. One of these days, try and get him on camera. He too is waiting for some females to come along. There aren't any here. The only female waterbuck I've seen are around Langwan Dam and maybe Wexford Dam. And there's a female around Langwan Dam that's got a very tiny youngster. But as soon as we get anywhere near, she runs away. I see you looking at me. And of course, if we went around to that road on the other side of the river, he would just come back this way. And there's a nyala. Notice the nyala don't really run away. Another nyala. Nyala bulls here. Sorry, little boy. Just coming through. So for those of you who are watching, if we have a good signal right now, good view. I had to go into town today. Town being a little village of Acorn Hook, to go and collect bank cards had expired. I guess it wasn't a very good idea going into a town the day after a public holiday in the middle of the month when some people get paid twice a month. So after the 15th, it was very busy. But guess who I bumped into in the bank? Mr. Patrick. Very similar to what we have on a summer afternoon, except this afternoon it's making it chilly when the sun is behind the clouds and it's making it hot when the sun is out. But what it is also doing is because of the clouds, there's a glare. There's quite a glare. So I've got my shades on. Hopefully we can have an event-free drive for the rest of the drive. Hopefully I'm going to hear from some of you shortly. Drive questions with Wilder on TV. I'm going to have to start putting on a layer of two soon. Soon enough. But this is, exactly. Your voice, does your voice come through or do I got to repeat everything? Bad English, do I have to repeat everything? That comes through. Okay. Thanks, Becky. I'm just wondering if... Put another strap on the vehicle. I'm just wondering if when you talk, your voice comes through. Okay, so over this really, really rough piece of road, we're likely to hear you shout a few times. So we could find a way around it. This is a Land Rover, trust me. of wood there. Oh, but that's fine. It's fine. We are damaging this. The more we have to drive over this really badly eroded section, the worse it's going to get. So the only way to preserve it is to find our own little way. Here, I'm going to make sure that I get the antenna just squeezing through. I'm going to have to disturb a couple of very young tropical tent spiders. No, antenna's not going to make it through. I can see the gap here where I could put it through, but what? And that one's fine. That'll just bounce back. Okay, let's just bounce over the bad stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't brag about a Land Rover if I can't test it extreme. I don't know, but you are now. We were. Yeah, they're opposite. Sorry, I'm trying to make this as plain as possible. You know what they say, if it's comfortable for the vehicle, it's comfortable for us. Well, that translates into the amount of work the vehicle has to do. No, we're not. Not if I can help it. So, really keen to hear from you this afternoon. What should we talk about? Sorry, Becky. It's the GoPros here. Decided to just record this bumpy section. No, it was a rhetorical question I was asking myself. I can tell you all about spiders. Because I know that. Okay, Becky's with Amanda. Okay. Before I talk about spiders, I've been thinking. I started drive at say 3 o'clock and give it a little bit of time and then start talking about spiders. By the time we finish our drive at about 5:30, 5:45, I might have sort of scratched the surface. But a few people are asking about cats because I mentioned when we started the drive, for those of you who are just joining us now, I mentioned when we started the drive that I bumped into Patrick. And I know there are a lot of you that have sometimes asked me on Facebook and stuff whether I meet up with any of the old crew. Funny enough, Patrick is the one of the people that I do meet up with, not regularly, but every few months or so we bump into each other because Eikonhoek is his main town and Eikonhoek to some degree is my main town for not shopping but banking and a few other things that I can't do in Hoedspruit. So I have one bank and the only branch for that bank is in Eikonhoek, not in Hoedspruit. But sometimes I bump into Patrick, sometimes I bump into a bunch of people from Juma or our Wild Earth days at Juma. So I'm first going to try go to the east. We've hit near Letty Road, by the way. I know I'm interrupting my story on Patrick. But if I get too involved in the story, then I don't think about where I am. And I've got to think about where I am because I want to find the animals and I want to go and look for certain things in particular that was seen earlier. It gives me a place to start because there's not much happening right now. There's a crop circle. Yeah. Made by elephants. today was one of those days I bumped into Patrick and he said to say hello. And he's looking good. He was also with Given. Given is a young man who was in matric in 2000. He was doing his final year of high school actually when we were in Juma, I think about 2011. And he's currently doing the admin for the primary school in Dixie, the little village of Dixie. I'm really proud of it because he's taken on a really amazing responsibility there. And Pat was, they were also at the bank, they were at the same bank, going into Nedbank. Patrick was doing some stuff. Looking good, healthy, fit. His inimitable laugh. So, he's at a lodge in, still at the same lodge, from what Tunyala Bulls. I wonder if they're going to strut their stuff. This one facing the other one. They haven't got press grade. Grade already. Not the greatest, but a little bit of a frame to perform to. But a lodge in Manyaleti. Now, some of you might remember that Manyaleti was it's a provincial game reserve bordering on the northern part of the Sabi Sand. It's open to Sabi Sand and it's open to Kruger. And some of our leopards from Duma would have moved into Manyaleti. Funny, that place is called Manyaleti. This road that we're on is called Nyaleti. Manyaleti means place of the stars. This road that's called Nyaleti Road. It's just road. Stars Road, Star Road, Eland Guns Road. See, if we were the first people to drive this road, we would have called it Eland Disappearing to the Bush Road. I tell you what, Becky, I'm just going to go and have a look down this road that runs parallel to the fence line. Can you tell me if I lose signal again? I don't know. Actually, we're not going to get down there. Rather dense. What we'll do is we'll go up that other road. Well, then up weren't really heading further north as much as I would have thought. So they got to the northern side of this road and they started heading east, and we east of them. If they turned around and headed back south, then I'll find their tracks crossing this road. So that's probably them heading north. No, it wasn't really. There's a number of giraffes. You must see these bulls that have been fighting again. Okay, just a little bit more into the sun. Just a little bit more into the sun. I'll make a quick, I'm sorry everybody, but hopefully sound has been good and I've been talking to you, telling you things. But let us get up Nyaleti Road. Obviously, closer to the solstice every winter, this road is a no-no driving west. In summer it'll be fine, because the sun will be there. But I don't particularly want to take any of these roads that go back to the river. And we can't take any of the roads that are branching off to the right because it goes down over a slope and we lose signal. And we spent enough time with lost signal earlier. There's these leopards. Oh, makes the person so mad. Oh, that's not leopard. That's a young lion. It's a very big male leopard. But you can get those tracks. Also, it's not very fresh, so the sand's caved in on the tracks. maybe we can listen to, maybe it's gone before. I think there's probably too much wind. Nothing but a little bit of wind from tracks to be too over. I think it's that young female. That front paw is very round. Well, it's headed east, but there are several tracks over. These tracks only exist, you can see there are no tracks up there. These tracks only exist because the vehicles, you can see how the vehicles tracks part coming over that little eroded section. I'll show you, either much as it looks bad into the sun, but maybe everybody can see this. But there's a natural tendency for the vehicles to miss having to go over that eroded little bit in the middle. So they put their wheels to the side, and that's the only place that the leopard tracks still exist. These 2 days old. Because further on you can't even see them. And I also had to do that. Make it a smooth ride, you miss the middle, and that's where you see rather than step. But as soon as we get to the Ilkley loop, we'll turn south. Not easy driving into the sun. So we have no choice. We are in the southeast and everything happens to the northwest, and the sun just happens to be setting in the northwest because it is cold. Our winter, midwinter point in time. Not hearing any news or anything of the time. It seems like there are only about 3 vehicles driving this afternoon compared to the mayhem that there was over the long weekend. And I'm talking about Buffalo now. The Duggar boys at one stand and a herd of screening herds. Lovely in Yarry. Just a little bit longer into the sun, then we can spend the rest of the afternoon with the sun behind us. It's a piece of wood. Okay. But not like it's the first one. Next to the wood. Yes, what's the mountains in the distance? No, the mountains in the distance. The dead tree fallen over. Old marula tree. With the eyes. Eating the soil now. I think it's chilly enough to put something on now. Actually it needs fire. feel it because the weeds in the shade. We also use these. I don't think I'm going to need gloves tonight. No.
Be serious. Be serious.
Bragging. Is this mine or must be mine, I guess?
That's fine. No, that's for you.
There's another one there. Oh, that's your beanie. Okay. Depressed. I'm inwardly depressed. Yes, because our elephants have moved north and we can't follow them.
Maybe it's quite depressing.
Unless we might be able to find our dear old, well, yeah, leopard. Okay. Whoop-de-doo, a leopard. Who wants to see a leopard? Who wants to see a leopard? Okay, so what are those tracks in the road? No, they're not. On top of the tire track. Very, very fresh. Same cat track. This time there are no excuses for cars to go around eroded areas. They're on top of the car track. Problem is that they actually look like young lionesses. They're not leopards. Anybody follow up on young Mafazim Gala Konzo heading north up Nanzan Road? Is this the same one, Brett? On bottom end of Nanzan Road, heading north. Why it's a good job you're not in the vehicle, baby. And double transmission there. Double transmission there. Boys, learn to listen. This is interesting. This is interesting. There are reports. I wanted to show you. So I don't know if we can see these line tracks. But these are young lionesses. I don't think that's a male. There was reports of a young lioness that came in with a young male. But that's not leopard. That's definitely... Yeah, at first I thought... bunch of them there. Big male leopard, but too big and it's too different. But she's supposedly very shy anyway. If I go down to that track, you think you could hear me?
Yeah, I can turn the volume.
Okay. I need a stick. Which track can you look at? Which one would be good? This one would probably be good here. Or this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm there.
Or actually, that might be even better here.
No, that would look better.
Huh?
That would look better.
Behind me.
Mm.
These ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the first things that makes leopard different from lion is the back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, he's fine.
Cool. So even if I talk down onto the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's okay. I don't know. So the back of the pad, here are the 4 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the 4 toes. But the back of the pad, if I show you, is like that. There are the 3 lobes at the back. These 3 loops. But it's somewhat skew, and the leopard would be almost perfectly straight. The toes are quite long. And here, I can see it. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see where the fur around the edges of the toes, the fur in between the toes, has brushed the sand. And I mean, it's so fresh. She's somewhere up there. It's so fresh. It's brushed the sand away a little bit as she's walked forward. Just the fur, no nails. You can't see her nails. You can see where the fur around her paw has actually brushed the sand, because the sand is deep here. If I showed you sand, some tracks over there, very shallow, and you wouldn't see the same thing. But that's the back foot. The back foot is a little bit more skinny, and the next time we see lion, we'll sort of try and get the camera zoomed in on a rather narrow back foot. And if you look, even us humans, the broadness, the width of our toes, or rather our feet and our hands are a lot broader, and it's the same with a lot of animals, and that the back foot is rather narrow and long, but this would have been her front foot, and she's put it down rather hard because it splashed the sand up, but it's a lot wider. If I do this, that's putting a circle around each track, and you'll see that the back foot is a little bit smaller and narrower than the front foot, but both of them are more or less elliptical in shape. And even the toes, if we could have seen, I wish I could show you these tracks here, because it's in shallower sand and it's a lot more distinct. But even the toes are almost elliptical, egg-shaped, and the whole size of the track, if you made a ring around it, is oval. And that is the sign that it's a lion, because a leopard, if you do that, the toes are round and the whole shape of the foot is round. And it's a young female, and sometime today she walked up that way. Not so long ago. There's been one vehicle over a track at some point. That's rather sad. But also, it was news that there's a very skittish young female hanging around. Maybe it's a... saw her tracks yesterday when we were coming past Langwan Dam. That was yesterday morning. When was the misty morning? Yesterday. Because Nick was walking. He was doing a walk, and I found tracks just a few toes after, because it had crossed the road perpendicular to the road, hadn't walked on the road coming up from the dam. And evidently Nick had been doing a walk in the same area, and I later learned that he'd also seen her tracks. And then somebody mentioned on the radio that she's very skittish. Let anybody see her. Yeah, her tracks come up from there. They're on top of my tracks. They're on top of my tire tracks. From this morning. Erin and I were here. The tire tracks that I can see here right now, with line tracks on top of my tracks from this morning. So basically what she's telling me is that I drove past her this morning. Erin and I drove here and we drove past her this morning because she's walking on top of our track. Another way to age tracks. Knowing what different tires are used by different vehicles, knowing your own tracks, knowing where you were, and being able to see whether other vehicles are on top of your track. To see if it's only your track, knowing that you were there at a certain time, and then the animals on top of your track gives you a time frame when that animal was moving around. So she was moving around here after about maybe 8. Langwan Dam is not far from here. My guess is that she spent the night last night not far from here, somewhere close by. And it's finally moved. If we go back to the Letty Road, maybe we'll find her tracks on top of that. But hopefully she's going to get thirsty and she knows that Langwan Dam is here, so maybe she'll come back to Langwan Dam. Maybe I could think of another 1001 scenario where she maybe, and neither one of them will be right. Because it's nature, it's Africa. You cannot predict what will happen, where it will be. A road with misnamed Chester North and the sister road Chester South. That's the camera, I think. In a nice little rocky area like this, we'd expect to see the odd reptile. But it's already getting cool. We have to be here late morning, early afternoon to see the odd reptile sunning itself. The likes of maybe rainbow rock skink or common striped skink, which tend to be more arboreal than pastoral. No, not pastoral. What would it be called? Oh, what would it be called living on rock? There are girdled lizards, and there are plated lizards, and there are flat lizards. I found the flat lizards in Salati. Last time I saw flat lizards was up on the escarpment of the drive. So anyway, who wants to hear about lizards? I was going to talk about spiders, but I'm trying to prove the point. There's nothing goes the way you want. I hope Blake gets through. Who's asking about the spiders? No, Blake. Oh, Blake as well. Okay, Blake in Kansas. Blake's getting a lot of airtime. black dam Slumby are mobile, but they're heading off. Look at this bird party here. There's something serious going on here. Look at those. Oh, these birds are mobbing something. You can see babblers. Turn this radio down. And here, bulbuls going crazy. There's the Aramark babbler here. There's something down there in the bushes that these birds are really not happy about. I can see a barbet. There's a tinker barbet now, red-fronted tinker barbet, just below that Aramark. Oh no, I'm not going to see this on camera, so I'm going to narrate it for you. There are innumerable yellow-vented bulbuls. There's a family of Aramark babblers and their spectacled mouse birds. There was a red-fronted tinker barbet that was sitting with an Aramark babbler, and they're practically all within inches of each other, all looking down, shouting at something in the grasses. It could be there's a babbler going down into the lower grasses, and that calmed down. That could be a big snake, maybe. Or a slender mongoose. Babblers have left. They seem to have handed over the responsibility to us. Bulbuls are, yeah, all over, including the shop. Something that the birds didn't like is in that little thicket of bush over there. I'm not poking my head in there. Birds don't like it. I'm still not going to be too happy when something jumps out at me. Only kidding. Don't want to disturb whatever it is. Having hard enough time hunting as it is. They're the babblers on the sand. Oh, I hope they play. You know what? When babblers play, they roll around like monkeys. But no, they're feeding, they're not playing. You just have to see Aramark babblers or other babblers in a family having wrestling matches. They're really rolling onto their backs and wrestling. I never thought birds would do that. I thought. Okay. Alright, here's an oriole. Very good question. Hello, Tora. North Carolina. Tora is asking how far do hippos... I'm start speaking now from Sean. Asking how far hippos roam from water, because the other day we had some hippo tracks and I didn't really mention how far we were from any significant water source that would have been comfortable for a hippo. I think we were possibly close to the river or around any one of these dams, and these dams are not the best hippo dams. Some of them are quite shallow, and They're not really good permanent water for hippo, but what they are is temporary motel type waters. Because during the summer months, when the grasses are green, hippo can, and take into account that hippos are only grazers. They are not very much, they're not browsers, they don't eat anything else but grass. And they pinch the grass with their very, very thick lips. They don't exactly have teeth for biting grass. They've got huge molar sets, apart from these tusks that are their molars, or rather their canines and incisors. They've got these huge molar sets that help grind the grass down. And to maintain that bulk, you have to imagine they have to take in a lot of grass. And so they spend almost the entire evening grazing. So they leave the water at night. They have a pretty sensitive skin, so they stay in the water all the day, and they sleep for the most part during the day. Sometimes they're awake. But then at night they come out of the water and they don't have to deal with sunburn and predators. Well, maybe they do have to deal with predators. They don't have to deal with sunburn and I don't know, whatever else it is that they don't want to deal with during the day, so they come out at night and they graze. And in the summer months, when what they consider their permanent waters, when the dams are swollen and there's water everywhere, they don't have to graze very far. But as the bush is drying up now, I mean, we can still see some greenery in the grasses, some of the grasses under the shade of trees and in protected areas, and where there's still some seepage from the good rain, there's still some greenery. But as these grasses dry out, so they lose their nutritional efficiency, their nutritional value, and a hippo is forced to move further and further away from water. And a place like Thornybush, there are a lot of little dams everywhere, and I think what we've been seeing is one of these hippos investigating all of these little dams and ponds to maybe ascertain whether or not he and family, or just him, I don't know how they communicate that, but whether he can venture further and spend time grazing here without having to go all the way back home to his water that he's been in for most of the summer. There's a good chance that as things dry up, we might be seeing some hippo in these little ponds and dams that we're seeing at the moment, the ones that we have access to. So under the circumstances, because there are a number of ponds and dams, since I had one just when we finished drive today, Erin and I, another little mantid was actually sitting on the GoPros. She was on the windowsill of the car, on the gunnel of the car. Can you see that Vernonia flower in camera? Just Just below it is a mantis. It's in a tiny little spot of light. And, well, to be honest, I need a photo. This is too beautiful. Is it better to have sort of a darker background blurred behind it than a light background blurred behind it?
Darker background to lighter background. That looks amazing. Stands out so much.
Well, my mantis is moving. Come down. Okay. No, next to the flower. It's boxing. It's the same species as I found this morning, except the little one I found this morning was a little bit bigger. We got it.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, if we can't find elephants, praying mantises are the next best thing. Okay, I need to put it back on its flower. Probably using the flower for hunting. That's not one of those species that actually sits on flowers. It's exactly the same one species that I had on the GoPro this morning. It's getting chilly. I might need an extra layer. The flower, by the way, is the Vernonia. Can't remember the species name, but it's a Vernonia. Oh, I need something warmer. Definitely. First, something like this jacket. And then something around my neck, like my beetles, to keep me warm. Well, it is winter. What we know of is winter. Don't laugh at us. The sun is shining, but we're putting on layers. Okay, where were we? Heading up the cut line, going through Waxable Pan. Bye-bye, little mantis. Sorry to interrupt your life like that. I didn't have it. It didn't sign a waiver.
It didn't.
No.
You're gonna have to go back to that.
No. Do you think there'll be any repercussions?
You never know.
Yeah, I know. Some lawyer saying.
Story.
Yes, I'm lawyer saying I represent this praying mantis. He unlawfully. Hey, didn't even ask. Yeah. Okay, only I could drive through the bush. Can't find an elephant, but I could find a praying mantis. Welcome to Africa. My little piece. No, not mine. Hey, little piece. Wish I could take you to my little piece. Not beyond the realms of the impossibility. beyond the realms of the impossible. It is fresh elephant track. Of an elephant bull, that might be that other big bull. Big step. Okay, give me a question. This is why would the lioness be alone? Will she survive? Question came in. Why would she be alone? I guess we'd have to ask her why she's alone. My guess is left the pride, looking for a pride. Not even knowing this lioness, not even knowing who she is and where she comes from, or her background, or what happened with her. Not knowing anything about her, it's impossible to kind of answer that kind of question as to why she would be on her own. There's a number of possibilities as to why, and much like everything else that I talk about, that I might be able to mention some of the possibilities, but what actually is the case might not even be something we could even think about. But I could venture to. Okay, let's think. There's one possibility is that she was born to a female who didn't stay with the main group of the pride. That because evidently she was moving with the younger male, the brother, two young lions. Maybe a male took over the pride and they were that age that they felt it better to become sick and find their own pride. One of the ways that lionesses, not often that you get a lioness accepted by another pride, so that can become the core of a new pride or a new of a pride. If she finds herself within a male's territory and he accepts her, she doesn't necessarily have to associate or socialize with the rest of the family. She can stay within a particular the male is ordering and a small sect of green pigeons. Signal before it's changing, although it should be getting better, not worse. But the leaves drying, losing their leaves, so all intents is that we're getting a better signal every now and then rather than a losing signal where we've had it. But I'm not arguing. We'll be back. Didn't want to lose her again. Now I'm going to try and think. I thought another for the junction. I think it was actually an elephant bull who's been secretly around this part of the world. Nobody found his back. Nobody said anything about his back. What's going on? Where's his log? That's our herd, Elliot. No, negative. We're west of Longwan Dam at the moment. I'm actually following up on this log. So it could well be that he went due east almost and met up with that herd. He was the bull that we saw with them this morning, taking an interest in that one young cow and one young female. I've just heard they are on the Royal Malawan entrance road. When I was there off the drive, that's where we pretty much left them. So they haven't moved far. But good news is they haven't gone too far north. And with a little bit of luck, they'll come further south from there and then maybe back into our zone. Don't want to be without elephants for too long. Pardon? Oh, right. I forgot. We can go into sunlight. Yeah, let's do. I'm just thinking, it's. Hello, Tora. Tora wants to know if lions have set territories or do they range wherever they want. No, Tora, they do have set territories. In fact, the very essence of lion society and lion being lion is that lions have territory, and well, first comes the territory. If lion cannot mate, they cannot eat, they cannot do anything without territory. Now, that's not 100% accurate and slight exaggeration, but as an adult male lion, it's imperative that they establish a territory, because without a territory there's one thing that is for certain: they're not going to find females, they're not going to mate. And then what is the point of being a male lion if you're not going to procreate, you're not going to, your genes are not going to be passed on? And the only way to do that is to establish a territory. They will still eat because they're nomads for a short while, and they'll learn how to hunt, and they'll learn how to do everything, but they will never be able to procreate. And so, yes, things like lions, because of the way lion society works, and funnily enough for many creatures, the main thing is territory, because nothing really can happen until territory is established. Very interesting book, in fact, if you'd like to read it. The name of the author was Peter Audrey, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Peter Audrey, I think he wrote. That was Lyle Watson, The Tree Where Man Was Born. Robert Audrey, not Peter Audrey. Robert Audrey, A-U-D-R-Y, or maybe Audrey with an E. Can't remember. I'm trying to picture some of his books in my mind, but I'm not getting it. But he did write The Territorial Imperative, And he might have written The Sea Where Man Was Born, but that, I think, might have been Lyle Watson. Can't remember. So much to remember, so little time. Got so many women, so little time. But Robert Audrey, being a playwright, had watched humans a lot, and then he decided to watch wildlife and animals in the natural world. And an interesting book was a book called The Territorial Imperative, which pretty much goes through that very subject of how important it is to establish and maintain the territory, because without that, there's nothing else. There's no breeding, and it certainly becomes very hard to feed because it is such a primary urge in things that the individual that does not establish and maintain a territory doesn't have access to females and doesn't have access to good feed, good food, put it as simply as that, whether it is vegetation or whether it is hunting, because there will be those that are governed by the need to establish and maintain territory, and as an individual that doesn't do that, you're pushed from pillar to post. Funny, I should describe myself. Hello, emerald spotted wood dove. Isn't it just sad you're not sitting in the sun? Ah, that's an alliteration. But can we see your emerald spot, please? Turn a little. Look what I did. If I didn't lift my hand, it wouldn't have flown. A flea and a fly and a flew were in prison, so what could they do? Let us flee, said the fly. Let us fly, said the flea. So they flew through a hole in the floor. Thanks, Dad, for that one. My dad. And it was only because I have gas appliances that I know what a flue is. And even more so, I've seen flies trapped in my food. Never a flea though. Wait, I need another photograph of this. Can you look at this sculpture? This is a male Stichosaurus statue. This is for a flick. This is doesn't need any explanation. I'll maybe move backwards a little bit. Sorry, but that roundly peak behind it is spoiling the shot. Okay, what's the question, Becky? Koi. Who's that from? Sorry, who's that from? Okay, no, I didn't hear you. Try again. Cassie. Something I didn't think about, but Cassie did. Could it be that a young male that was calling the way he was calling, the way he was calling, could it be that young male's lovelorn call or is what brought this young female? I don't know. It might very well be, you know. I didn't think of that, but as far out as that might be, but it might very well be. It might very well be that she, having been, or being alone as she is, or with whatever the circumstances with this young lioness, the very thing that has brought her in here is the sound of a teenager serenading in the night. It's a beautiful light that we have right now. It would certainly be nice to imagine that she has come across, because she heard from Sandringham. It sounds like she came in from Sandringham, which is the property to the east of us. There she was. All she had to deal with were mothers and brothers and a grumpy old father, and she heard this young male roaring to the west. And she just happened to know that there was a specific spot on the fence where she could sneak through. This is the Romeo and Juliet of Mayan stories. She's a Capulet. Or was he a Capulet? She's a Capulet. No, she's a Sandringham. She's a Sandringham and he's a Thornybush. This is the African equivalent. She's a Sandringham and he's a Capulet. And he's just on the wrong side of the fence. There's no tracks here, this is the fence. He was born on the wrong side of the fence. So they were forbidden to meet. But his lovelorn calls have been heard and she has answered, and because he can't go there for fear of her father's reprisals, he's decided to creep through the fence and come here and defy the wrath and risk the wrath of the females in the area, come looking for him, and they're going to set up homes down here along the Thornybush River, and they're going to become what is going to be known as the Thornybush Pride, the greatest pride of lion ever known in the Thornybush region, in Thornybush. But no, not the Thornybush Pride, because there's copyright on that already. Thornybush, the whole game is every pride of lion in the Thornybush, you can claim that, especially the white lion. So it's the Thornybush River Pride. They take up home here and they rule the roost in the southern part of Thornybush and become the setting my imagination on a way. What can I say? Kathy started it. Kathy said, could it be? And I thought, yes, it could be. I think Kathy was thinking the same thing. What did you say, Kathy? Speaking of the Thornybush River, we are back along the Thornybush River. And it is a little bit chilly down here. So, well, we've come back this way. We're going to head west. East. No, east. West is behind us. Head east. Got home with our tail between our legs because we couldn't find an elephant. But we did find a praying mantis on the Vernonia. And we've had a good chat. And we've had some problems with our signals. And we've had to restart our equipment again. It's been another day in Africa. My friends have a Cape Town-based company. They're German. They're from Germany, but they live in South Africa now. They have a tour company. And the company's name is ASDIA. ASDIA. That stands for Another Day in Africa. surprised there aren't big owls in these big jackalberries on this riverbed. Maybe there are. They were around when I am. I'm smiling to myself because I'm just thinking about the scenario, the story I've just spun about this young male and this young female. I think it is rather grandiose, but it's not impossible. Could happen. Wait and see. Watch this space. This space. This one. Space on Wilder proceedings. Thornybush Private Nature Reserve. Like our page on Facebook. That is our page where we put things of the animal nature. We have a page, Wild Earth page, which is a page on the technical nature of things. What are they doing? Yes, what are those ladies doing? They're just standing around here. All of that Ingrid and other day. Which one? Mother one. Brad, I didn't go back there, but I did also, I missed her this morning. No, negative. I got those marla, and then just east of those marla there was a Nyala bull that was getting a bit worried, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, but also when we stop broadcasting, we switch off. I lose radio contact. When I switch off, I don't get anything. Tomorrow's another day. There you go. Cassie and Cora like my romantic story. Maybe one or two others. This is a beautiful tree. This is a rain tree. Is it one? How would ever get this? Maybe if I go back this way off the road, we get the whole tree. This is one of the most magnificent trees that we have. It'd be nice to have a moon rising through it. Which we'll try for this next full moon. How much do you get in if you...
Really missed the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a rain tree, everybody. It's one of... Well... You might find out in time that when I'm looking at something, I'll say it's one of my favorites. I end up having many, many favorites. But yes, it is one of my favorites. It used to be known as Lonchocarpus capassa. Lonchocarpus referring to the seed, which is lance-shaped. Hence the name Lonchocarpus. Carpus meaning seed, loncho referring to the lance shape of the seed. Capessa. I can't remember what Capessa meant. Maybe my book can tell me if it's got it in. But I believe it's got a new name now. And for the life of me, I can't think of it. Doesn't have capacity. Look, I want to show you something. There's a maple leaf. I think it's a Japanese maple. I've even got, look, there's, I think it's even a blue jay feather when I had this. There's young leaves in the spring. It's the kind of tree that doesn't lose its leaves in winter. What it does is it just changes leaves very quickly in the spring. And within a week it'll lose the old leaves and get the new ones. The new ones are really lovely, almost Granny Smith green. And when they're young, perhaps they look like an apple. But more importantly, because it rains underneath that tree. For no apparent reason, unless you're an entomologist or somebody interested in entomology, and you know that the rain is actually not from the trees, but from an insect. Look, there's a big Nyala bull. Stop now and watch him. I said to everybody I'd find another one because we didn't see that one earlier properly. Just brace yourself if he gets too close. Eh?
Yeah,
he might headbutt the car and turn it over or something. But there's a little bug. It lives on the rain tree. Actually, it lives in huge numbers. It's related to the cicadas or cicadas, which have just erupted in the US for their 17-year cycle in excessive numbers, filmed by BBC and a few others. Oh, look, he's displaying to us. He's raising the ridge of his crest on his back. The ridge, his dorsal crest. And he's posturing with his horns to say that we're in his way. I'm getting worried. I don't know about you. Ah, he chickened out. He turned off the road. Hello, Mr. Nyala Bull. You really are a magnificent bull. Ah, the helicopter. That's got to be anti-poaching or something. Yellow helicopter. I know that helicopter. The yellow bubble. Bye-bye, Nyala. See, Andrew can tell me your own business. I've seen it fly around my place as well. Big game capture. Maybe it's Jerry. Becky, has Jerry got a yellow helicopter? Becky. First to Becky. I'll try the radio. First to Becky. Been abducted by vervet monkeys. Moira, Becky's been abducted by monkeys. So these bugs that are known as spittle bugs, they're known as cuckoo spittle bugs, they're actually true bugs. as are cicadas. They're not beetles, they're not flies, they're not the generic bug that a lot of people talk about. They're actually true bugs, and they suck the sap out of the apple leaf or the rain tree, and they produce a foam protective covering around them. Sometimes you might see them on your lawn or in long grasses, because you also get a crooked spittlebug that lives on grasses. But I will find one for you. Like I can find a fragmentus, I'll find a spittlebug. And this foam that they use to protect themselves against heat and dehydration and birds hang on. These bugs, when the foam starts condensing on a hot, humid day, it starts dripping out of the tree and it makes rain. You can actually get these puddles. Now the foam is produced by excessive sap sucking, because that's all they really do. They have a proboscis. That's the nature of a bug as opposed to any other insect. They just have like a straw for a mouth part, and with that they suck the sap of very young shoots and they produce this foam with excess moisture that they use. What is the lion? No. Where am I looking? 12 o'clock? Are you serious? Male? Male or female? It's a leopard. Well done, Brian. Gee, I didn't see a thing. I don't know if we're going to be able to get across, so we can maybe get through the reeds here and see it behind that tree. Yes, we got a leopard, but I only got a glimpse of its tail, and it's behind that tree on the other side of the river. And I don't know, I can't go much further. This is going to... No, Becky, don't get too excited because I can't do anything with it. I did see it. Really, I can't believe I couldn't see it, but well done, dude. Very well done. I think that's your first method. First one you found. Okay, unfortunately the crossing of this river. It's like my nephew. Young Jack White. When he was young. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. because she was seen up there this morning briefly. I'm thinking it's
What I'm supposed to do now is what
Gonna have a look down here at our crossing, but we've already come way too far because it was the other side of this crossing and before. I'm also reluctant to go too far in here because if it comes out on the road, it might flip. So what to do? Go down here, go back there. What do we do? Crossing that short wheelbase Land Rover across lane through the park. Rub it in, Not mentioning names or anything. Yeah, you see, it's not going to come this way, I don't think. The other thing we could possibly do is go all the way back around to the loop again. Keep it back where it was in the reed. I don't want to go far down here, otherwise it's not going to get back up again. When you worry, you watch it. What's that calling on my head? Some whistle. What? Where are you seeing something? That's enough to upset the leopard. There's a lot of dead wood lying there. And there's also a lot of live wood here. I'm going to let us go back up to the road. A lot of tree stumps here that are just a few inches above the ground and on top of fire. sounds like on the prop shaft. There's a prop shaft turning or something. Hopefully maybe this is thick or something. Definitely on the prop shaft. Yes, like a flank guard in the bottom. I guess I'm climbing under the car tonight. Well, that can be rather frustrating at times. Open the jigger. Be a little bit shy, and it could be just hiding in the bush until we disappear. It's also, there's the nature of cats to do that. When they don't want to be seen, they're not going to be seen. It makes it even more special than those moments that we do find a leopard, and we are allowed to view it, and they let us follow them, and they let us sit with them. That just goes to show how special those moments are, because 9 times out of 10, this is what happens. You just get a glimpse of a cat and it's gone. The bush is thick. There's no way of getting in there, and even if we did get in there, there's a daker. That's all movement. It's a daker. Yeah, but it's still, it's food. There's leopards somewhere here. It could even be going for something like a little daker. Very little daker, but careful, there's a leopard in there. Yeah, right in there. And I'm pretty sure we might even hear leopard tonight. Who knows? Sitting outside and when we're having dinner. But it'll be a good place to start. It'll give us something to do tomorrow morning. This is the road I come down to anyway to look for tracks, but at least maybe we can get down here and see something and get a better idea of what this leopard was, who it was. So you'll just have to join us tomorrow. It's a sad thing. Really, really. I'm trying to think of a way to put it, but we'll see you tomorrow. Brian on camera, Vicky in final control, and me, Mark. And we'll see you tomorrow. From Thornybush, bye everyone.